Hey channel, welcome to my Donny. My name is YouTube. No, seriously guys, welcome back. Excuse me if I'm a little bit excited today, but I'm finishing the Messerschmitt, which is awesome. So guys, as you know in the last video, I finished making that upholstery and I've now just taken it out and I have spent a couple of hours flat sanding and polishing this car so that it will shine nice and beautifully. And then I went ahead and I made a list of all the things that I reckon I still need to do on this little car for it to get done. And then I went and I bought all the stuff that I think I need, which includes the rubbers for the sides, the headlights, the tail lights, and a couple of other things also to extend the harness and so on. Now guys, I'm not going to be going into too much detail on all the things that I do, but I will be telling you how I plan on making the headlights and the rear tail lights, because I do not have those, and also what my plan is for the windshield in front. So guys, without any further ado, let me start working on this car. And the first thing that I'm going to be doing is installing the rubbers that go around these wheel arches and around this canopy and so on. Okay guys, so for the moment I'm just going to be putting a wind deflector in the front of this car and not bother too much about a roof or anything like that. So it's going to be an open top for now. I may change it at a later stage if I make a different plan. But what I've done is I have gone and made a rudimentary pattern on this piece of hardboard. So I'm going to trace that onto the plexiglass and then cut it out with my jigsaw and see if I can get it mounted in the front of this car. So apparently plexiglass isn't shatterproof. Who knew? Luckily I still had a piece of polycarbonate left from a failed attempt at making the windscreen for the McLaren, and I was able to cut a piece out of that. That's going to work for me. It's a little bit thicker than I would hope for, so it might be a bit tricky to get it to bend to shape, but at least I know I'm not going to have any birds coming through my windscreen. Right guys, update for you that missed what I just did. I drilled 3 holes in this polycarb and I drilled 3 holes strategically in the body underneath these rubbers, and with a fight that people write songs about, I struggled this thing in there as tightly as I possibly could, and I used these nuts and bolts to tighten it into position. So now this is looking sweet. I like what it looks like. It is looking pretty. I like it. And guys, this thing is as strong as you can possibly think, and it's also scratch resistant. So all that remains now is to take off these protective plastics, if I can get my fingers in there, and then we can see just what this windscreen or windshield is gonna look like. Look at this, guys. Beautiful. Gee whiz. Crystal clear. And guys, this thing is as strong as a visor of a motorcycle, and it is also scratch resistant, so it's going to work perfectly. Beautiful. Alright, let's continue. Okay guys, so now it is time to start working on the headlights and the taillights. And obviously I did not have the original headlights, so I was able to source the glass part of the headlight. But usually these cars came with a chrome ring that goes outside of that headlight or goes over the headlight, and obviously that was next to impossible to get a hold of. So what I'm going to be doing is I have come up with a plan. These are going to be the headlights, and then I've got these pit bowls, and they've got more or less the right diameter, and I like the curvature that they've got on the sides here. So I'm going to be cutting a hole in there so that this headlight can fit nice and snugly in there, and then I will cut it on the sides at the depth that I think is going to be okay, and then I'm going to finish it off. And I try to get a stainless steel one so that I could sand it down nicely and polish it, and hopefully I can make these bowls into the rings that goes outside. And also I'm going to do the same for the back with this little drinking cup, but I need to obviously change the shape into that oval shape over there, and then I can use these red lights to go in there. So it's not going to be original, but at least it'll be something, and if I ever find the original parts I can just swap these out and put the original ones in. So I've got no idea if this is going to work or not, but we're going to find out together. Guys, check it out. It worked. It's looking absolutely fantastic. I love it. And look at the back. I was very much apprehensive of how that would come out, but it is looking so cool, man. I love these peaks sticking out. That's just spaceship like. I love it. Cool, let's continue. Alrighty guys, so now that I have finished with the lights, I have now installed a 7-core wire from the back to the front so I can extend the wiring harness. And now I'm going to start installing the upholstery once again for the last time. And one of the things that I was most excited about is to replace this piece of rope with the right leather strap that needs to go there. So guys, a buddy of mine's dad gifted me with this leather strap that he handmade for this car, and I'm very much excited about that because he is an artist in what he does, and that's the nature of my channel, is making things by hand. But guys, go and check out his page. I will put a link in the description. Everything that he does is just absolutely beautiful and handmade once-off products. Anyways guys, let's continue. Guys, it is done. The little Messerschmitt that actually could. I'm so happy and so proud of how this little car came out like. It really is a showstopper. If you guys that's been following me since the beginning of this build will remember that this little car was no more than a heap of scrap metal, and now we've got a beautiful little micro car that we can take to car shows and so on. And I'm sure that even purists are gonna have a hard time discriminating against this little beauty. And I'm particularly proud about all these little things that I had to do to adapt and improvise to get this car to where it is now, because you guys know that most of what you see here did not exist, and I had to make a plan, and that's how I like it. So my wife and I are going to take it out for its inaugural drive in a couple of minutes, and I'm very excited about that. But man, oh man, it is beautiful. So guys, I want to say thank you for all of your support and votes of confidence throughout the build. And next week we're going to continue with the other work, like on the Jaguar and so on. But thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week. Cheers.